Let's start with a guy that is expected to be released when the new league year starts next week. That would be Kyler Murray of the Cardinals. What do you see with Murray?
Well, breaking down this film the last couple of days, he's a guy who has great feet. So you're going to see here you can do design runs. That's huge in the red zone. So that's +1 with a 31 blocking out in front of him. Next thing, he can make all the throws from in and outside the pocket. His feet are outstanding. And obviously his size is what kills him. But you're going to see him here change the pocket a little bit. He's got all the arm strength you need. He can make all the throws in and outside the pocket. For me, availability is his thing with his size. And I've never been a big believer in that you can't make throws when you're under 6 foot. But what ends up happening is if you're under 6 foot, you're under 200 pounds. And this is such a brutal league. So you can see he can make all the throws from in and outside the pocket. He can change platforms. He's a tremendous athlete. His high school film is some of the best film I've ever broken down at any level of football. He does some really, really good things, both in and out. He's very intriguing to me. Once again, the idea that you wouldn't want to bring him, I just don't understand. He's got multiple seasons over 3,000 yards passing. He's got all the skill sets, and he can get himself out of trouble, which what the next quarterback for the Browns is going to have to do for a year or two, probably, in my opinion.
Well, Todd Monken has said he wants a mobile quarterback, that he sees a value, the explosion and the plays. I guess the concern I have with Murray is I don't know that I want a guy that's under 200 pounds taking hits downfield like he's going to because of the way he runs and is able to get out.
Well, yeah, and he extends plays, and when you extend plays, you open yourself up for hits. And obviously, being in the AFC North, he's a smaller guy. You get to the midseason, you start playing in cold weather. And do I like this trade 3 years from now even more? Yeah, or this acquisition? Absolutely, because the Browns will be in a dome. And sometimes these undersized guys with not huge hands and being in perfect condition helps them. So, yeah, he's got the track record. I like guys who are proven. There's some issues there. There's some questions, but he's a guy. He's definitely the best quarterback on this roster if brought in. And if winning right now is important, Kyler Murray should be on the board, or at least somebody you discuss.
The thing is, he's going to have his choice because he can sign for the league minimum because his guaranteed money has already been paid by the Cardinals for next year. Could you make the case that Cleveland is with Todd Monken would be a destination that could help him benefit his career?
Well, I said this a couple of days ago, and here's what I think. Greg Roman is a guy when he was with the Ravens. That was before Monken got there as the offense coordinator. Monken was then at Georgia. I thought Greg Roman did a great job, him and Harbaugh, of taking Lamar Jackson and making him an elite player and kind of making his skill set early on in his career, his ability to run, throw on the run. And then it kind of reached its tipping point. And then they brought in Todd Monken to kind of take it to the next level. And that next level was Lamar Jackson really good in the pocket along with his feet. And they kind of married both schemes, and they use a lot of what Greg Roman does. So, yeah, for me, if he's a guy who has all the money he needs, if you're a guy who's looking to maximize maybe your skill set and somebody who's going to kind of do what you do well, then yes, I think Todd Monken is a guy that you have to at least engage and maybe come talk to and see what he can do for you and your skill set. So, yeah, I do think Todd Monken and what he did with Lamar Jackson after Greg Roman did a great job, took it to the next level. I think it's a spot he will maybe look at. The weather is a deterrence for these guys sometimes, and I don't blame them.